Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. Thank you for watching. No Saturday video last Saturday because I had to go to a wedding, and by the time I remembered I had to go to that wedding, I did not have time to upload a video that was on my previous channel. So, not a big deal. You know, we're still on regular Tuesday, Saturday schedule. Um, Hopefully I can give you some advance notice next time if I'm going to be missing one of the days, which might be the case next week, but we'll talk about that this coming Saturday. So Squier is using Epiphone parts. You could also say Fender is using Gibson parts to a certain extent. So there is a wraparound bridge that Epiphone makes, or at least the manufacturer, has the stamp on it, Epiphone rather. And they are using it on one of their Paranormal Series Squier guitars, which is pretty interesting. So remember that Squier with the Epiphone bridge? Fender says it was unintentional and we won't see many more of them. This is a rare example of that specific part showing up in our production. Fender has responded to reports of the new Squier Paranormal Series Stratosonic using an Epiphone bridge, confirming to Guitar World that the branded part was indeed been used on some builds, albeit unintentionally. So we first wrote about the story last week, having seen a clip that I believe Music Radar YouTuber Landon Bailey, when he dismantled the guitar to show the bridge. Time of writing, they reached out to the electric guitar giant, and Fender representative told them that the Epiphone branded part was unintentional on its Squier build and attributed its inclusion to a mutual third-party supplier. So basically, there's some third-party supplier that makes these bridges, which, they do it for probably Gibson too, somewhere in China. And for whatever reason, they just unintentionally set Squier, the Squier factory that was putting together the guitars, some Epiphone branded ones. That's essentially what happened. It's common in the industry for contract manufacturers to produce products from multiple brands, and for those brands to coincidentally share certain parts produced by third-party vendors. It reads the full statement. While this particular bridge is not exclusive to Epiphone, they have used it, and it is evident that for their products, they prefer their logo to be present. This is a rare example of that specific part showing up in our production with their logo unintentionally. Fender does not offer any detail on how many of these new Stratosonics out there might include an Epiphone branded bridges, but it does indicate that it's a production quirk it doesn't intend to repeat. In reality, it doesn't matter. It's on the backside how many people actually take the bridge fully off of their guitar. Midas when maybe you're restringing it, but yeah, it's not like it says Epiphone on the headstock. As the statement concludes, further production runs of the Stratosonic will have no logo on the bridge to avoid further confusion. That makes sense. You catch something, get rid of it. Even though the guitar is designed like a Gibson Les Paul Special P90, which is kind of what they're going for, even though they call it something else. It's got the TV yellow finish, the blacked out headstock, the black pickguard, the two they're calling a soap bar P90s, but they're just they look like regular P90s. So there you go. Might have been an accident, but Squier has indeed produced a guitar with an Epiphone branded component. All credit to Lando Bailey for this initial spot. You can check out his full clip above and subscribe to his YouTube channel for more reviews. Now, does this mean this guitar is going to be worth more, might be worth more money down the road because it was unintentional that this happened? Maybe. It might be something that, a collector might go after, but at the same time, I don't foresee this being, super expensive. Let's see. Squier Stratosonic. Let's see how much those are going for. Stratosonic. So right now they're selling for $429, and obviously you got shipping on top of that. So I see this going up more in value once it's out of production. So I don't see it going up in value, this specific model to that specific part, but I do see it going up in value once they stop making this, because that's how all the Paranormal Series works. So once they stop making that specific Paranormal Series guitar, they're around for maybe a year or two after that, but then you can't find them. You have to buy them third party, and if a lot of people want them, the sky becomes the limit on them. And then that's essentially what happens. You know, it's like Fender initially. Good luck finding a Powercaster or a 66 or a Strat Jazz or a Jazz Strat, whatever the heck they're calling it. It's hard to find them for the price that they originally went for. They just seem to be going up in price. So good luck attempting to find one. So all credit to Lando Bailey for the initial spot. Is Bailey's a one-off? Well, there's only one way to find out. If you're a dealer or player who happens to have a Paranormal Series Stratosonic on hand, do us a favor. Take the strings off. Check the reverse of your wraparound bridge. If you spot an Epiphone brand, get in touch. Next up, a report on the herd of flying pigs over the herd of flying pigs over Kalamazoo. Yeah, no. So I mean, that's all it is. It's basically they're using the same manufacturer. We've known they've done this in the past with you know when they sometimes they'll use a two-pneumatic bridge on a couple other guitars, and Gibson uses the same manufacturer, or Epiphone does. Not that big a deal. But it's kind of funny when you know you pull it apart and see that. I mean, if you have one, and you want to check, by all means, so you know when you go to restring it, do it. Or if you just want to know, you know, loosen up the strings and see if you can pop up the bridge without completely taking off the strings. But if I ever come across one of these used for a decent price, I'll probably pick it up because that's usually what I do. I don't typically buy new. I buy used, and I will buy whatever I think I can break even on, or whatever I think I can make a profit on. Even if I don't want it, I'll pick it up anyway if I think I can make a couple dollars on it. Because I do like reselling guitars, because then it gets in my hand, I can do a video on that particular guitar, and then I can make a couple bucks, and then send it off to the next person on its way. And then sometimes it works where I get a guitar I want to keep really, really badly. So there's a couple guitars where I bought them fairly cheap, and I was originally going to resell them, and I was like, you know what, I like this guitar, I'm keeping it. So that's what happens too when you buy, sell, trade, and collect. So other than that, happy 4th of July. If you're in the US, thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you back here on Saturday. Have a good one.